Thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Sarah Horbacewicz. Tonight, Little Rock police are investigating a homicide from early this morning. Before 2 a.m., a local hospital reported a patient with a gunshot wound. Police were then sent to East 14th Street and Bond Avenue to investigate the scene. The victim later died at the hospital. Police are asking people in the community for more information in this murder investigation. Over in Pine Bluff, a suspect is behind bars for the murder of 49-year-old Christopher Harris. 23-year-old Jatonia Bryant Jr. turned himself in last night around 8 o'clock. He's facing multiple felony charges, including capital murder and committing a terroristic act. 3 weeks ago, Harris died at the hospital after officers found him lying face down on the ground at South Myrtle Street. He was 49 years old. Police in Pine Bluff say they've identified a third suspect in a double homicide from last month. A 17 and 14-year-old were killed and another person injured. Officers are now searching for 18-year-old Dylan Finch. He's wanted for 2 counts of capital murder, among other charges. If you have any information, you're asked to call police, and they say he should be considered armed and dangerous. We'll continue to keep you updated on all of these stories on THV11.com.
Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. It was another hot day here in Central Arkansas, and unfortunately we don't have cooler weather headed our way anytime soon. Let's go and take a look at our map and we'll see what we have going on right now. 97 here in Little Rock, 99 in Hot Springs. It was quite warmer in the western portion of the state, and those heat index values were around 105 to 110 across the state. And unfortunately, this is what we're looking at for the next duration. We've got high pressure sitting just right on top of us, and that's going to stay there for the next week or so. You can see we're above average with those highs. 92 is normally where we will be, but we've been very happy with all of our beautiful weather the past few days. But unfortunately, we're going to have to deal with the heat for just a few days longer. But for tonight, go ahead and just enjoy that 75 degrees overnight. And tomorrow we're looking for a high of 99.
All right, thanks, Tracy. Now, I know we're all feeling that heat today, but did you know that certain areas of the city are hotter than others? Tonight, dozens of volunteers and organizations are driving all across the city of Little Rock to find those hot spots in an effort to cool them down. As THV11's Brooke Buckner shows us how they're mapping out solutions.
Having any insight to the areas around town that need help first will help us prioritize action.
That's why more than 60 people met up on Saturday to collect data. It's called heat mapping, and Brittany Nichols with Little Rock's Sustainability Office says it's the first time they've done this study in Arkansas.
This is a first step in finding those areas of town that don't cool down in the evenings, so that's why we're capturing these data at 6 a.m., 3 p.m., and 7 p.m.
These are the tools that help them capture GPS, humidity, and temperature data all across the city.
So we have a group of 54 drivers and navigators that are going across the city mapping heat with sensors that are attached to their vehicles.
After they get the data report in a couple of months that shows where the heat islands are, they can move forward with cool down strategies.
We expect to see it downtown where there's a lot of buildings and dense development and roads, but I'm excited to see what we don't know about ourselves already.
Volunteer Joe Klingbeil participated in the study because he says he wants to be a part of anything that could enhance Little Rock's biking community.
We've been riding for well over 20 years and we enjoy it, and so this looked like an opportunity that we could jump in and give a helping hand.
Klingbeil notices the heat difference in certain parts of the city. That's why he's strategic about when and where he rides.
We look for the shaded areas, or we go early in the morning, just at daylight, and try not to get overheated.
Nichols says the overall goal is to get grant funding to help develop some long-term solutions like reflective pavement, more green space and trees, and green roofs to make the city more comfortable in the summer.
Having those areas around town identified so that we can help people find those cooler paths, whether they're walking, biking, or waiting for transit, that will be an immediate use that can come of this project.
In Little Rock, Brooke Buckner, THV 11 News.
Today, Joseph Wood was elected as the newest chairman for the Republican Party of Arkansas. Wood is currently the secretary of the Department of Transformation and Shared Services. He used to be a Washington County judge and treasurer of the Republican Party in the state. He was sworn into the role today, and he was nominated by Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Today also is Clinton Presidential Library had free admission to celebrate the former president and state governor's birthday. Clinton turned 77 today. Earlier this month, the Clinton Presidential Center announced an expansion, adding a new section dedicated to Hillary Clinton's work and archives. Design expectations are set to be released next year, which will mark the Clinton Center's 20th anniversary. It's a big day here in Central Arkansas as freshmen prepare for their first day of school at UCA. It was freshman move-in day at the university, and it's a process the school has pretty much got down to a science. You pull up to the building and staff and students come to you, unloading your vehicle and getting everything taken up to the room for you. University President Houston Davis says beyond a warm welcome, he hopes this can help parents and students with an emotional day.
You're going through the process of where am I going to park the car? Well, I have to make a dozen trips back and forth to the room. We know on top of that logistical, physical challenge is the fact that they're really running through. They're happy for their young son or daughter, but they're also very emotional because this is a chapter that's changing their lives.
The first day of classes at UCA begins on August 24th. The school year is underway for many, and while classes at Shorter College don't start until next week, this week was a major milestone for the HBCU. For the first time in 20 years, students were able to move onto campus dorms. The 50 students who will be living in the new dorms include part of the basketball teams and choir.
Being able to come into like a new dorm, it was just a really like set my decision on it.
The college plans to build 2 more dorms along with the technology campus and STEM program. You can get a better look at the new facilities right now on thv11.com. As students return to classrooms this year, some are being introduced to more mental health check-ins. THV11's Mikaelyn Johnson has more on their importance and how district counselors can make an impact.
As we, continue to navigate, there is definitely more and more studies coming out.
According to the CDC, in 2021, more than 4 in 10 students, nearly 50%, felt persistently sad or hopeless, and many experienced poor mental health, and it's still a topic professionals are watching.
To their mental health from an uptick that they're seeing in anxiety, depression.
Licensed professional counselor Isis Petway says a support system in school is a game changer for students.
It can change lives. Number one, the role that you have in a kid's life is very important because they want to know, okay, is this somebody that I'm safe with? Is this someone that I can depend on?
This sentiment is echoed by Lisa Academy District Lead Counselor Sydney Kenward.
The more we dig into their personal lives and their personalities, you learn the things about them that make up their person.
If a student is looking for counseling, Petway says, remember, they are more than just a student.
Talk to them instead of at them because they're so used to the lens of authority figures.
As an in-school counselor, Kenward realizes many may think of their work and imagine picking up a class schedule. But at Lisa Academy, the two are separate. And for her outreach is much more than that.
A safe place to live, food to eat, clothes to wear. If we're making sure our students have those basic necessities, we can work on those skills of their social emotional levels.
She says her team is focused on needs in the schoolhouse and at home.
I want to know how can I intentionally engage families where they are, and that sometimes that means I know how to get there, and sometimes I'm still learning.
According to Petway, counselors and families alike should seek what stressors are impacting students. Things like a lack of routine, not understanding their emotions, or a lack of resources. Then find ways to give them back some control.
Owning something really does change some things up, and you begin to see their confidence. Control is a huge factor in my role as a therapist because this is their hour. It is about them. My role is to serve as a support. I am not an extension of the other authority figures in your life.
Kenward says her team at Lisa Academy sifts through data at the end and beginning of the school year, finding patterns in students' mental health and adapting.
If we're seeing a need here or a goal that we've met, we're going to keep going. We're going to get better.
There's certain syntax and certain code words that you have to use, commands that you have to use, and that's what we teach them.